Kwababa episode recap, full script. Runtime target, 18 to 20 minutes spoken 3000 words. Intro. Hey, my people, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name doesn't matter as much as this does. Grab your tea, grab your snacks, get comfortable, because today we are diving into the one, the only. Kwababa. Now if you don't know, Kwababa is the drama everybody's been talking about on Mzansi Magic right now. It's got the Makaizes, it's got the Motongs, it's got tradition, it's got love, it's got power struggles that will make you clutch your chest. And today's episode. Oh, today's episode was not playing games, my friends. I actually had to pause halfway through just to process what I was watching. So if you're ready, let's get into it. As always, spoilers ahead, obviously, that's literally the whole point of this channel, so if you haven't watched yet, this is your warning. Everybody else, let's go. Scene 1, the Makai's homestead, early morning. Okay, so we open, like we usually do, at the Makai's homestead, and the vibe is already tense. You can feel it before anybody even says a word. Zwelakhe is sitting outside, alone, just staring off into the distance, and honestly, the way they shot the scene, with the sun barely coming up behind him, chef's kiss, cinematography team, you ate that up. Now remember where we left off. Zwelakhe has been going through it. Between stepping into his role as Inkosana, dealing with the weight of his father's legacy, and trying to figure out what he actually wants for his life versus what the family expects of him, the brother is tired. And today, we see just how tired. His mother comes outside to find him like this, and she doesn't even ask what's wrong, she just sits next to him. And I love that about her character, honestly, she doesn't push, she just shows up. And that's when Zwelakhe finally opens up a little, saying he doesn't know if he's cut out for any of this, the leadership, the title, the responsibility that keeps piling on him. He's basically standing on the edge, feeling like everything is closing in. And listen, I was not expecting the show to go this heavy this early in the episode. Usually they ease us in a little bit. Not today. Today they went straight for the emotional jugular. Scene 2, Bahumi finds out. Cut to Bahumi, and if you know anything about this show, you know Bahumi is not the type to sit back and watch the man she loves spiral without doing something about it. She hears through a mutual friend. We'll get to that friend in a second, because that conversation is also messy. That Zwelakhe has basically shut down, isn't taking calls, isn't showing up to meetings he's supposed to be at. And you can see it on her face, that mix of worry and frustration, right? Because on one hand, she loves this man. On the other hand, she is tired of being the one who has to constantly pull him back from the edge every single time life gets heavy for him. Can you blame her though? I feel like a lot of us have been in relationships where we're doing all the emotional heavy lifting and it gets exhausting. She decides, against her better judgment, if we're being honest, to go find him herself instead of waiting for him to come to her. And my heart was already preparing for this scene because we all know when Bahumi and Zwelakhe share a scene, something is about to hit different. Scene 3, the Motoang house, Kia's world starts cracking. Meanwhile, over at the Motoang household, we check in on Kia, and my people, this is where things get really interesting. So Kia has been going about her business, thinking she's got a handle on things, thinking the people around her have her back. And in this scene, she overhears a conversation she was absolutely not supposed to hear. Two people close to her, I won't say exactly who yet because I want you to feel the way I felt watching it, are talking in hushed tones about something that directly involves her, and it becomes very clear, very fast, that she has been kept in the dark about something major. The way her face just drops. My friends, I actually gasped out loud. Like actually said, wait, what, to my empty living room? Because up until this point, Kia has trusted these people fully. And now she's standing there, back against the wall, literally eavesdropping on her own life falling apart. This is the moment, and I want you to remember I called this, where Kia realizes she has been betrayed by people who are supposed to be protecting her. And once that seed is planted, honey, there is no going back. You cannot unhear something like that. I need you to sit with that for a second, because the writers did such a good job of making us feel her shock in real time. No dramatic music blasting, no over-the-top reaction, just silence, and her face doing all the talking. That's good directing right there. Scene 4, back to Zwelakhe and Bahumi. Okay, back to our main couple. Bahumi finds Zwelakhe still out by that same spot from earlier, and this conversation. Phew. Get your tissues ready if you're an emotional person like me. She doesn't come in yelling at him or guilt-tripping him, which, honestly, I respected, because a lot of characters in this genre would have gone straight for the drama. Instead she sits with him, quiet, for a good moment before she even speaks. And when she finally does talk, she reminds him gently that he doesn't have to carry everything by himself, that leadership doesn't mean isolation, and that whatever the ancestors and his father expected of him, they didn't expect him to destroy himself in the process. And Zwelakhe, this is the part that got me, he actually breaks down a little. Like, actual tears. We don't see this man cry often, so when he does, it hits different. He admits that he's scared of failing, scared of being seen as weak, scared that stepping into this role means losing the version of himself that just wanted to build a life with her, simple and quiet. Bahumi's response is basically her telling him that her love isn't going anywhere, that she's not asking him to be perfect, she's asking him to let her in. And slowly, you see him come back from wherever he mentally went earlier in the episode. It's genuinely one of the more touching scenes we've had all season, not gonna lie. I was not expecting to feel this emotional over a Tuesday episode, but here we are. Scene 5, the uncle returns. Just when we're getting our emotional footing back, of course the show throws in some tension, because that's just how Kwababa operates, never let the audience breathe too long. We cut to a family meeting back at the homestead, and guess who shows up uninvited? That same bitter uncle who's been stirring the pot about inheritance and family power since day one. Honestly, this man. Every single time there's a moment of peace in this family, he finds a way to walk in and throw a match on it. He starts questioning Zwelakhe's fitness to lead, bringing up his disappearing act earlier in the day like he somehow already knows about it, which, how? Somebody's definitely feeding him information, and I have my suspicions about who. He tries to plant doubt in the extended family's minds, saying things like maybe the position of Inkosana should go to someone more prepared, more stable. And listen, I get that every drama needs a villainish character to stir things up, but I'll be honest with you, this uncle is getting on my last nerve. Every episode it's something new with him. At what point does somebody in this family just sit him down properly? But here's the thing, this time, Zwelakhe doesn't shrink. Maybe it's the conversation with Bahumi still fresh in him, maybe it's him finally deciding enough is enough, but he stands up, and for the first time in a while, he speaks with real authority. He tells his uncle, in no uncertain terms, that questioning his commitment doesn't scare him anymore, and that he's not going anywhere. The room goes quiet. You can feel the shift in power in that room. Honestly. Chills. Actual chills. This is the character development we've been waiting for all season. Scene 6, Zethu's breaking point. Now let's talk about Zethu, because oh my goodness, you guys. This woman has been holding so much together for so long, and today, it all comes crashing down. We see her earlier in the episode trying to juggle about 5 different responsibilities, handling family drama, covering for someone else's mistakes, trying to keep the peace between 2 sides of the family who genuinely cannot stand each other, and you can see the cracks starting to show even before this scene happens. But it's in this next moment where she's finally alone, in her room, that she just collapses. Emotionally, I mean. She's been the strong one, the one everybody leans on, the one who never gets to fall apart because someone always needs her to be the steady one. And in this scene, we finally see what it's costing her. She breaks down crying, alone, nobody there to comfort her, because that's exactly the point. Nobody even thinks to check on her because she's always the one checking on everyone else. I don't know about you, but this hit me in a very real way. How many of us know a Zethu in our own lives? The friend, the sister, the mother, who holds everyone together and nobody asks if she's okay. This scene was written with so much care, and I really hope the show gives her a proper arc going forward instead of just using her as everybody's emotional support system. Scene 7, Kia confronts the truth. Back to Kia, remember that overheard conversation from earlier? Well, she doesn't just sit on it. This woman marches straight up to the people involved and demands answers. And my friends, the way this confrontation unfolds is so tense. Without giving away exactly who's involved, because I really do think you should watch this scene for yourselves, the acting is incredible. Kia lays it all out. She knows what she heard, she knows she's been lied to, and she wants the truth, right now, no more excuses. And here's the thing that got me, the people she's confronting don't even really deny it. They try to justify it instead, saying they were protecting her, that she wasn't ready to know. And Kia's response? Absolute fire. She tells them that protecting someone doesn't mean deciding for them what truth they're allowed to have. That hit hard, not gonna lie. By the end of the scene, we don't get full closure. The truth is out there now, hanging over everything, but we don't yet know the full extent of what was hidden. Which, obviously, is intentional, because the show wants us back next episode. Scene 8, the episode's final moments. Okay, so we're coming into the final stretch of the episode, and everything starts converging. Zwelakhe, having stood his ground against his uncle, goes to find Bahumi again, and this time it's different, it's lighter, there's actual hope in this scene. They share a quiet moment, and honestly, after everything heavy we just watched, it was a nice little breather. Not gonna lie, I needed it too. Meanwhile, we get a quick cut back to Zethu, still recovering from her breakdown, wiping her face, putting herself back together because that's what she always does, and just as she's about to walk back out to face the family again, someone knocks on her door. We don't see who it is yet. The episode ends right there. Right there. On a knock at the door. And then, as if that's not enough, we get one final cut, back to Kia, who's now staring at her phone, receiving a message from an unknown number that just says something along the lines of "there's more you don't know." And the screen cuts to black. My people. I actually yelled. I paused the episode, walked around my living room for like 2 minutes, and had to come back and rewatch that final 30 seconds just to make sure I saw what I saw. My reactions, predictions for next episode. Okay, so let's talk theories, because I have thoughts. First, that knock on Zethu's door. My gut says it's either someone coming to finally check on her, which, please, she deserves it, or it's someone bringing more bad news, because the show loves to kick people while they're down. I'm leaning towards it being someone unexpected, maybe even someone from a part of the family we haven't seen much of lately. I could be wrong, but that's my read. Second, that mystery text to Kia. "There's more you don't know" is such a loaded line. Whoever sent that clearly knows more than the people she just confronted, which tells me this betrayal goes deeper than just the two people she caught talking. My theory. I think there's a third party involved who's been pulling strings from further back, someone we've trusted this whole season. I don't want to accuse anyone directly yet, but keep your eyes open, because I don't think we've met the full picture here. And third, Zwelakhe and his uncle. That man is not going to just sit back after being put in his place like that. I fully expect him to regroup and come back with something bigger, maybe even try to rally other family members against Zwelakhe behind the scenes. This feels like the calm before a much bigger storm. Honestly, this episode did such a good job of balancing the emotional, quiet moments with the bigger dramatic tensions, like, we got heart, we got suspense, we got a cliffhanger that's going to have people talking all week. Kwababa really said let's not give you a single boring second, and I respect that. OUTRO. Okay, my people, that's the full recap for today's episode of Kwababa. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think that knock on Zethu's door means? And who do you think sent that message to Kia? I want to hear all your theories, because I know some of you are going to come up with things I haven't even thought of. If you enjoyed this recap, please hit that like button, it genuinely helps the channel so much. And if you're new here and you don't want to miss the next recap, because trust me, based on how this episode ended, the next one is going to be insane, make sure you hit subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss it. As always, drop your comments below, let's talk about it, and I will see you right back here for the next recap. Until then, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you in the next one. End of script.